is neural sequencing. So there's an order in which, especially when we are influencing, that we want to move. And it's counter to how most of us do that, especially when our brain is under threat. So to me, this is such an important nugget. So we talked about the prefrontal cortex. Big deal number one, big deal number two is threat, big deal number three is emotion. So let's say you're trying to lead your team through a change right now, or, maybe somebody at home, you're trying to influence them or motivate them to do something different. Or maybe you're in a disagreement with someone right now and you're trying to get them to see your point of view. This is oftentimes how we approach it, and it's all wrong. Okay, we try to reason with people and give them all the facts and figures. I just think about if you've got a teenager in your life right now, if your teenager came home and said, "Hey, I'm going to this party this weekend and we're going to get wasted," or whatever they might say. I don't know. They probably wouldn't be honest about that. But let's just say they're going to this party this weekend. We could start reasoning with them. Oh, all the reasons why this is a bad idea. What is the likelihood that they're going to go, "Well, thank you, Mom, for bringing that to my attention. I never considered that." The truth is, we know that's not going to happen. Because what really happens sometimes if we start with reasoning, especially if there's already a little bit of threat and people are already defensive, all you're doing is triggering their brain to listen for disagreement. You're creating more resistance. If I start giving you all the facts and figures and such, and then I expect you to relate to me and go, "Oh, thank you so much for pointing out the error of my ways," instead of going in the direction of reasoning, relate, and expecting people to regulate. We want it, that's like going the wrong way down a one-way street. Instead, I want you to think about, first of all, regulate yourself, remembering that it's an open loop system. You can influence others. So let's take that teenager coming in. Maybe regulating looks like taking a few deep breaths. Maybe it is, getting up, moving around. It's checking in with yourself. Regulate, because only then can we expect to relate. So, here are a few ideas about this relate. Every brain is tuned into the station WIIFM. What's in it for me? So, if I really want to relate to someone, I got to self regulate because my brain might be under threat too, right? So, we want to get all that settled in. I want to think about a choice that I want to make. I want to breathe. I want to be sure that I'm in a place where I can be curious. Remember, when your brain's under threat, curiosity can go out the window real fast. We get stuck. So, making sure, even if you're standing up and kind of moving back, like just remembering to open up a bigger space when you find yourself getting stuck. To relate, we got to figure out and listen what is important to them. What makes this important to them right now? Because in addition to being tuned into the station WIIFM, people's brains either want off of Pain Island or they want on to Pleasure Island, right? Usually they don't care about the boat that's going to take them there. So, what is the current pain for them? Maybe it's a change you're leading with your team. What's important to your team in this change? How will it eliminate pain? How will it help them get to pleasure faster? And what do they want? What's important to them here? Remember, it's not necessarily always what's important to you. It's what's important to them if we're going to relate. So, in that scene, if there had been asking more questions than trying to come up with solutions or to reason with her more, you're likely to get better cooperation, and only because this is how the brain is wired. So let's work with it, not against it. And relating to is, how does that make sense to them? Because it does make sense to them. Whether that is resistance that you're seeing, or whether it is that teenager wanting to go to that party, like, what about that makes sense? And then and only then do we have even the option of getting to reasoning. So when we can regulate and we can relate, we're not triggering the brain as much to listen for disagreement, because we're meeting people where they are, which triggers the brain to listen for agreement. So I just want you to think about that right now. What a change that you're leading, or where you're needing to influence. What would it look like to regulate, relate, and then hopefully we can get to reason. Now, there is fine print on this screen, and sometimes you can do it all the right way, and you don't get to reasoning. There's still difference of opinion, but you certainly have increased the likelihood of getting to that success faster. Okay, so I just want to do a quick recap. Emotions run the show. Emotions aren't That should be an open loop system. It's not a closed loop. We can influence those around us, and the number one influence is you. And imagine, to be able to build that connection faster eliminates a lot of unnecessary drama and costs. That starts by managing yourself. That's the regulation part. And then the other thing, just keep in mind, is let's regulate, then let's relate, and then we get to reasoning. Okay, so I'm going to hang around if you guys want to and talk, but I'll tell you, if there's any way we can support you, that's what we do every day. So let us know. Hopefully, there's some opportunities that you've gotten some different groups, but know that we're here to support you as well. We'll always send out this recording. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and just kind of field some questions, if or thoughts about how you